Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I'm your host, Jem, and let's cue the intro, people.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat, feel somewhere you're looking good. Feel your heartbeat, feel somewhere you're looking
good. Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. Leicester 2, Chelsea 0. I'm going to say it again. Leicester 2, Chelsea fucking 0. I am not in the mood right now. I am pissed. I am fuming. I am annoyed. I feel like we're let down. We're going to do the player rating. You know what it's about. We're going to go through some of the ratings. I want you guys to give your views and your rates as well. I will open up the lines later on as well for you guys to come in and have your say. But at the moment, guys, I just need to just talk, if that's cool. I need to just air my feelings right now, because at the moment, I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. We turned up to this game knowing that we had to win to obviously put the pressure on. We won our last two games. I would say it was in the greatest of form going into this, but we needed a big win. We needed a big performance. The starting lineup in terms of formation layout and who was playing, it was an attacking team. It was a very attacking team. And it looked okay on paper. I was happy Jorginho weren't playing. There's a little question mark about Tammy. But everyone got what they wanted. Yeah? Because I heard so many Chelsea fans calling for 4-2-3-1. Cho, Havertz in the 10 role. Yeah, these are the things I heard people calling for. Obviously, this happened today. And I'm sorry, but I can't... What's the word? I feel... Look, it's irrelevant to the way I feel about if I'm a Lampard out or in. Because it's got to that point now where he's the man management. His man management with the players is obviously not there. There's a lot of players that are not there, are not willing to play for him as individuals. And I feel that it was apparent. You come out in the second half, you're 2-0 behind. What do you want from your team? You're 2-0 behind. What do you want from your team coming out into this second half? You want a performance. You want to see a drive. You want to see hunger. The only two players, for me, that played well, not played well, but showed a bit of attitude and when they come on, was Werner. Werner, when he came on the pitch, Timo Werner, yeah, and probably one of the best games I've seen him come in and actually start, come off of the bench. And people were going to go for it. But Mason Mount was showing a bit of attitude, about a courage. He was dead. He was running around. You could tell he was knackered. He's trying to get into tackles, win tackles here and there. Yeah. Other than that, Reece James, shocking. Yeah. The whole back line. Ben Chilwell, dead. Shocking. Yeah. Absolutely dead. Tammy Abraham was even playing. We're calling out for fucking Cho to play. Yeah. And we need Cho on the pitch because he is the man. He's the man that's going to change anything. I remember him doing one thing in the game and he ended up hitting the fucking side netting. We're sitting there as Chelsea fans moaning at Frank Lampard as an individual. We're sitting there moaning at Frank Lampard and his tactics and what he's doing here, there and the other. But the truth be told is this. Them 2 goals in the first half were pure defensive mishaps. It doesn't matter if you have Tuchel. It doesn't matter if you have fucking Brendan Rodgers, fucking Sam Allardyce, whoever you fucking want on there. Doesn't matter. You learn them things at a very young age. The first goal, the ball gets whipped in. We clear the ball. Did any player run out and attempt to block Ndidi from shooting? Did any player run out and show a bit of, John Terry-esque, throw themselves in front of the ball, try and block it? Of course they didn't. Of course they did not. They didn't. And we go 1-0 behind. And if Ndidi would have hit that a lot clearer, he probably would have missed it. But the fact that he scuffed it, Yeah, he did. He scuffed it and it hits the post and goes in. We go 1-0 behind. Cool. We're now 1-0 behind. That was 7th or 8th minute in. Now I want to see a response. Now I want to see us come back into the game. Where was the response? Where was the hunger? Where was the fight? There was none of it. There was none of it. And then you go on for the second goal. Oh, let me guess, it's Frank Lampard's fault again. Ball goes over the top. Maddison's on his own in the position that Reece James should have been filling. He's out of position. Yeah, that was Lampard's fault. Yeah, you know, of course it is. It's Lampard's fault. Only Lampard could have done that, you know. Like, come on, when are we going to stop? Like, Lampard's done. It doesn't matter if I want Lampard in or not. For me, the players are not playing for him. So at the end of the day, there's no point of him being here because they're not playing for him. And if the player's not playing for him, then he won't be here long. Of course he's done. Of course Frank Lampard's going to be gone if Roman Abramovich is seeing shit like that. Of course he's not going to be happy with that. I'm sorry. Sound like I'm ranting like a bitch, but it's stressful. It's stressful because we've got all this talent and we can't seem to even create a chance in front of goal. Tammy Abraham, what was he doing the whole game? Where was he? What was the point? What was the point of him? What was he doing? Do you know what I mean? And it's just, at the end of the day, we can sit here and blame Lampard, right? But at the end of the day, he played the 4-2-3-1 that all the Chelsea fans wanted. Yeah, we played Cho, we played, what's his name? Havertz in a position, and we still put in a performance like that. There's only one other option. There's only one other reason why that's happening. There's only one other reason why that is happening. And the clear answer to that is that they're not playing for him. These players are decent players. They're not shit players. They're not shit players. They're decent fucking players. And that's why he's going to be gone. That's why he'll go. Because of the heart, the attitude. When Ollie loses games, the next game you see Man United players running their fucking socks off for their team. Running their socks off. Even if they know they're not playing well and they've had bad consecutive load of games, they're still showing heart. They're still showing a hunger. I don't see that in this team. We've got no leaders. We've got players on the pitch. Yes, we've got talented players, but we've got players on the pitch that have not won things before. They don't know what it means to try and go out and win things. They don't. You name me players that have got a history that we used to have back in the old Chelsea squads when Eden Hazard was around and Gary Cahill's and, you know, whoever else. There isn't. These guys do need a manager that's going to get a system that works for them. And they will come they will come good. They will. But at this moment in time, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It isn't. And unfortunately, Lampard will probably be the one to actually have to go. He will probably have to leave. But my point is this. If the players can't do the basics, and there were basics today, we can sit here and bang on about Lampard and his formations, yeah? But they were basic errors. It doesn't matter. Like I said to you, if Tuchel was there, it doesn't matter if fucking, Pep was there, Klopp was there. These were basic fucking errors. And we couldn't even do the basics. Reece James out of position from a corner in the first goal. We clear it. We don't even get out the box. We stand and we allow Ndidi to shoot. I'm sorry. We can sit there and go, oh, it's Lampard. It was his fault again. See, I told you. Yeah, yo. No. Players need to take responsibility as much as the manager. The manager will go. Forget him. This show's got nothing to do with him for me right now. I'm more pissed off with the way we're putting in our performances. And the performances show me that they're not playing for him, which means they have to go. He has to go. Sorry, not them. He has to go. He will have to go. And it's a shame. But let me tell you something now. You all want Tuchel here. There's certain individuals who want Tuchel in this place. Tuchel isn't stopping basic goals being conceded like that. And mark my words now. This shit that we're seeing right now is more than just Lampard. It's players understanding their roles. It's players understanding doing the general basic things. We couldn't even knock a pass from 2 yards to each other. and build up a certain amount of play. We couldn't even do that. Look, there's 21 of yous here. I appreciate it. I love having yous on here. Let's go through some of the chats. Big up, Jen. Really enjoyed your views and opinions on the Football Terrors coming from an Arsenal fan. I appreciate that, Jivan. Obviously, a lot of Arsenal fans hate me, and that's cool. Just get Lampard out tonight and Tuchel in. And I keep saying it. Bring Tuchel in. But if we're going to continue playing like that and make basic errors, which they were basic errors which players have to take responsibilities for, it doesn't fucking matter who you got coming in. He's gone. I've never ever just backed Frank Lampard. I've always said to you guys, and I'm telling you now, it might look the kind of football terrorist that they will say, oh, Jimmy Lampard in. No, I'm not just Lampard in. I'm not in and I'm not out. But what I did want to do is see more, and I've seen probably enough. Their players have told me enough that they're not playing for him. They've told me enough that they've had enough, that they don't trust his logics, his philosophy, his ideas. And on that basis, he's fucked. He's gone. Gio says, shocking performance by the Chelsea. Only Mount showed up. And I agree, Gio. Mount and Timo Werner when he came on. Big up to you, Chris Welsh. Hi, Jim. I hope you will. Apart from the result, what do you think of Lampard? Is he gone? Yeah, of course he will be. I'll be hugely surprised if Abramovich don't get rid of him. Let's be serious. I love this Lampard. Love this Lampard. Of course you would. Of course you would. Of course you would. But let me tell you something now. There's still 38 games in the season to play. London is red, yeah? So let's just see what happens, bro. Big red machine. I guess the big question is it better to stick with it like Arsenal? It really only takes one game and you learn from the bad games also. Yeah, but it's been more than that, big red machine. That's the issue. It's been a lot more than just one game. Hassan says, I told you this would happen. Beth, big up to you. That was hardest game to watch just because you absolutely know what's coming now. Sad. Yeah, it is. It's painful. And it's just the players. The players are not playing for him. They obviously don't entrust the philosophy and the ideas of the football that he wants to play. And fair enough. Probably should give Frank more time. Maybe another 3 decades. Of course you would say that. Sacked in the morning is Lansley, who's a West Ham fan. He's loving it right now, isn't he? Let's be serious. He's absolutely loving it. This is why London is red. It's never been red, mate. You're like disappeared, gone. Don't even get your team involved. Dead. Werner was awesome. I agree. Mount always gets 100%. Yeah, I agree as well. Don't even compare James to Wan-Bissaka. Listen, Jadon Sancho. Yeah, chill yourself out. Yeah, AWB about a couple months ago was having the same pathetic performances, and now he's playing well, and that's good, and I'm happy for that. But at the end of the day, we lose a game. Reece James didn't have the best of games. It's one game. We move on. Hassan says, Chelsea have history for our managers under the bus. And they do, Hassan. Let me tell you all something now. We are not going to be the same team that we was in 2004 to 2017. That's not going to happen. That's not going to keep happening. Us keep getting rid of managers and bringing managers in and thinking that that's the only way we're going to win trophies. That's not going to keep happening. Mark my words, I'm telling you now, it's not going to keep happening. I'm just going to have some water quickly, guys. Sorry. We're going to get to the player ratings very shortly. Yeah, it's hard to take, man. It is really hard to take. I'm just going to quickly see if Dan's used. Yeah, it's a hard one to take, and it is what it is at the moment. And what do we say? Then remember when you said we should go for Sam Allardyce? Yeah, you should go for Sam Allardyce. You were in relegation, bruvs. We weren't in relegation. You were in relegation. So of course we're going to say that. Don't worry about us, bruv. You worry about your own team. I keep saying it. He's not trash. That's the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. What else have we got here? Hassel hunt him is what Velvishan says. Tactically, he's coolest. Yep, I agree. Jim, who would have done a better job at Chelsea? Well, you can't really question that, can you? Like, Lampard's not doing, he done very good in his first season. People keep forgetting that. He overachieved in his first season. He's been given money. He's been given players. you know, to accumulate together. We've changed half of our team, and he can't get the best out of him. And maybe he just needs a bit more time to do that. I don't know, but I know he's not going to be given that. With performances like that, the players are not playing for you. He will not be given the time. Lampard out and Mount. Oh, that's just a stupid comment. Sorry, I'm not even in the mood for shit like that. Why is like Arsenal giving Chelsea shit? You are laughing about Chelsea being in a shit with you. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Lampard, London is red. Bellerin better than Reece James. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. Hassan says he'll come on in a bit. That's good to see, bro. Big Red Machine says Tuchel is who I wanted at Chelsea, but he would be a good fit. We'll see, bro. We'll see. We'll definitely see about that. Who else we got here? Big up, Will. Yeah, Will. I'm gonna send the link in a bit, bro. We're gonna do some player ratings, so I'll drop the link in a second. Will, no, honestly, Will, if you're free, come in, bro. Come in. It'll be good to get your opinion as well. I need some Chelsea fans on there. I still love you, Jem. Love your accent, and my English teacher does approve your stream as English. Bro, I appreciate you here as well. Look, I'm not in the greatest of mood, just be serious. Who would be? It was a devastating performance. David can't criticise Mount and says Havertz is better. Mount and proved he's better than him. Like I tweeted, top 10 in top 5 league for chances created, and number 1 in under 23s in Europe for chances created. Yeah, man, it's not good, man. It's not good. Will says it's a disgusting performance. I agree with him. It was not good, and I think the players have to take blame for it. Will, you sit there going on about Lampard as much as you want, but I think you have to look at the players as well, and the players have not performed. You know, and it is what it is. We are going to do the player ratings. We are going to do the player ratings very soon. So we're going to go through our ratings of 1 to 10 of each individual player, which is going to make this easy. I am going to drop the link in the chat for you to come in. I want all the Chelsea fans available to come on and have their say. 2 seconds.
Got an hour early one with the listen, but I'm sure we can catch up on stream.
Yeah, so let me just drop the link into someone that wants to join us quickly. I'm just going to send it to him now. Let's go. And then what we'll do is we'll do the player ratings, people. Oh, this is dead. Like, tell me, guys, while I'm waiting, tell me what you feel and what you believe. You know, what went wrong in this game today? Was it Lampard? Was it formation? Was it like what was it? What was the issue with today's performance? That's what I want to know. What was the issue? All right, let's start the player ratings anyway. Let's do this. Is anyone else that let's just quickly read out the performance? Yeah, no, that's cool. Lack of spine. I agree, bro. I agree. So we're going to move on to the player ratings. We're going to start with man like Mendy, and for me, not good, man. Not good. It was absolutely shocking. It was appalling. I don't know, man. Mendy, for me, in the first goal, people were criticising him for the goal. But to be honest, you know, if your defence is not going to shut down the gaps, then what do you expect, sort of thing? Do you know what I mean? It's hard to take. It really is. It's hard to take. Mendy, for me, could he have done much more in the first goal? Probably not. The second, no, because people were out of positions. I'll give him a 4. I'll give him a 4. I think Mendy is a 4. And that's probably the kindest comment I could probably give to anyone else, really. Hassan says he's a 5. Icebank says he's a 6. Yeah, look, it's not been good. Yeah, probably. You know, look, Mendy has been pretty poor so far, isn't he? Let's be serious. Mendy's not been good. Mendy has been, the last couple of games, been a little bit average, you know, and it probably shows that we do need to go and buy a goalie going into the summer, because we're not going to do anything now. We're not going to get by anyone in the transfer window. That's not going to happen. So it is what it is. Badcap says he was a 5. Chelsea fan says 3. Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to Chile B. Ben Chilwell. Where do I start with this one? Wasteful. Absolutely wasteful with the ball. Losing possession. Gets into good positions when he should be crossing the ball. Turns around. Goes backwards with the ball. Like, how many times do we need to go forward to then retract and go back? It doesn't make any sense. Why do we keep doing that? Why do we keep going backwards? We do all of this good football. We do like this little quick tick pass. We get it to the wings. And Chile B gets the ball. And instead of looking in the box, or at least whipping the ball in the box, he turns around and goes all the way back to fucking Silva and Rudiger. He's a 2. He's a 2. I agree with Elvish one. He's a 2. Badcap says 4. Icebank says 3. You know, who else have we got here? That's the difference between Chilwell and world-class left-back. Maybe, Velvish one. Maybe. I think with Ben Chilwell, I'm going to reserve my comments against him for now, because I just feel like everyone's playing bad at the moment. But that performance, if we're talking about performances today, and how he played, he was poor. He was shocking. A 2. I agree. A 2 is fair enough. And then we're going to move on to Thiago Silva. I see a lot of people going on about Thiago Silva as an individual. You said, you Chelsea boys said that he was better than Maguire. You said he was better than... Chill yourself, yeah? I never said he was better than any of them, yeah? What I did say is that he is a good leader and he's a good replacement for what we already had from last season, because it was clearly not working with the style of players that we had at the time. You know what I mean? So for me, Thiago Silva gets a 4. He didn't do anything great, but for me, he didn't do massively much wrong. It's shit. It is. But at the end of the day, let me just send Prime the link quickly. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and he was a good, a good 4, but that's not even good. He didn't do much wrong. He didn't really do anything massively bad, if that makes sense. But for me, it is what it is. What are you guys saying in terms of the Silva rating? We have Thiago Silva has been your best player this season. Yeah, there's a good shout for that. There's a good shout for that. There is a good shout for that. Like he has been playing well. You can join, bro. I'm just going to run through these player ratings, and I'm going to open up the lines, and you can all come in and have your say quickly. Better than your defense. Yeah, that's true. Thiago Silva was a 6. Let's be serious. All right, cool. Moving on to where is he? Where is he? If I have written down somewhere, Rudiger. Oh. Can I ask you all a question? Why have we dropped Zuma? Why? What are the reasons? Could anyone answer me in this chat now? Can anyone tell me why Zuma has been dropped and why Rudiger is now playing? Please, anyone. What do I give him again? Didn't do anything massively wrong. He just didn't do anything great. I think he's got a 2. I see a lot of zeros coming in. A lot of zeros. Everyone's not happy with Rudiger. Look, we've got a 2. We've got a 0. We've got another 0. We've got a 3. It's poor, Will's here to join me as well. Will, how are you, bro? You all right?
Not good. What a shocking performance.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say. We'll get your views on what you feel about the game overall, but let's just fly through these player ratings with me quickly, yeah? Rudiger, what's your thoughts on Rudiger? I'd
give him a 1.5, honestly. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Probably at fault for the second goal. Just awful. Awful.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Beth says that's why he was playing over. Can someone, Will? Can you answer the question? Why is Zuma not playing again? Why is Rudiger
I
somehow
honestly,
got himself back in the season?
I think he's given up. I honestly think Lampard has given up. I really do. Because although I'm not the biggest fan of Zuma, there's absolutely no excuse. It's just so bad, so bad.
It was so bad, bro. It's got to me. We will talk about the game in a bit. Let's just get through these. Let's just get through these ratings. I'm just trying to find blimmin' James. I thought I had him on it, but obviously it looks like I haven't got James. I thought I had James on it. I have to put him in. All right, let's put James in. This one is an interesting one for me because for me, he was poor. He was really poor today. And we are banged on about Aspie being poor against Fulham. I did. He was poor. But what would you rate Reece James in terms of his performance today?
I'd give him a 3. Again,
A
not
3?
good enough. Simply not good enough. He just didn't look his normal self. He's not in the best form as it is, but this is beyond this. Apart from the Sheffield United game and maybe the FA, did he play in the FA Cup final? I think he did, and he was awful then.
I remember, bro.
Apart from those 2 games, I think this is the worst I've seen Reece James.
Prime's joined us. Prime, devastating performance again, bro. We're just doing the ratings at the moment. We will go back to your views on the game at the end of the rating. We're rating Reece James at the moment out of 10. What would you rate him? Prime?
4.
All right. A 4. Why? Why a 4?
They didn't do anything. No one did. Everyone gets a bad performance, really. No one really did anything. Okay, 4. Maybe that's a bit harsh. 5.
Really? I'm going to give my opinion then. I think he was a 1.5. I think he was crap. I thought every time we went forward with the ball, he turned backwards. Do you know what annoyed me the most? When we did actually link, when we did somehow get up the pitch and then we gave the ball to the wings, which we continue doing, he turns back. You've got 3 or 4 players making runs in front of you, but he decides to turn around and go back to Rudiger.
Yeah, he did that. He did that last season. I thought he progressed. I thought maybe this was the end of him doing that. He used to always. I remember, as we switched the play, he always used to chest it down and pass it backwards, and that's what he's starting to do again.
Ritesh says he was a 2. I agree. I think that's kind. Ram says, Jem, I was right about the best right back in the league. It's not Trent or James. Who is it then, Ram? Who are you saying that is the best right back?
He's going to say Matty Cash. It's not Matty Cash either.
It's Ricardo Pereira.
And he's saying just in. What's he saying here? He says just to mention on form. Who? Ram? Tell us who you think. All right, we move on anyway. We'll talk about it in a minute. I was going to talk about the game, but let's just talk about it in a minute. Next up is Kovacic. Will, what's your views on Kovacic?
I'll give him a 6. I'll be kinder to him, considering he was paid as the DM, and he did. I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he did anything massively wrong. So I'll give him just average, a 6.
Prime.
What? Who?
Kovacic.
You know what? Played better than I actually expected as the DM or deep line playmaker or whatever he was supposed to do. But again, he shouldn't have been playing there. Or was he even playing there? Because there are some people who say Mount was playing deepest. When I was watching the game, when I was watching the game, it looked like a 4-4-2.
It was a 4-2-3-1.
It looked like it looked like a 4-4-2 to me. But yeah, Kovacic, I think he had a decent game. He did what he normally does. To be fair, I think he did. He had moments. I give him a 6. I guess.
The only good thing having Kovacic on the pitch I think if Jorginho was on the pitch and we played like we did today, I think we would probably have lost about 4-0. The only reason I say that is because at least Kovacic covers the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He intercepts a lot quicker. I mean, Kovacic, wasn't great. He didn't do much again. He didn't do much wrong as well at the same time. To be honest, he was asked to do a job which potentially on his own in many ways. I know Mount was there, but I think even Mount playing there, you could tell he wasn't absolutely. Mount looked dead. We'll get to Mount in a bit, but Mount looked dead after a while. But to be honest, I'll give Kovacic a 4. That's the way I see it. I just give him 4. I don't really rate anyone today. I thought everyone was absolutely shit. We're going to move on to Mason Mount next. And I'm going to start with you, Will. What's your views on his performance today?
I think out of all the players, he looked like he actually wanted to fight for the manager. So I guess I'll give him a little bit of credit for that. But again, poor. I'll probably give him a 4.5.
Fair enough, bro. Prime?
Yeah, Will's right. He was doing things. He was trying. Things he was doing wasn't really coming off. But again, because the team didn't do anything.
Man of the match, 7. That's sad, man.
He was probably our best player.
Yeah,
I gave Kovacic a 6, didn't I? Okay, 6.5.
I actually thought Timo Werner played really well, but we'll get back to that in a bit. Yeah, look, Mason Mount for me, the good thing about Mason Mount is he showed a bit of grit, he showed a bit of hunger, he showed a bit of fight. He was the only one trying to get into, tackles and intercept and look forward. Yes, he did give the ball away. Yes, he did. I know people were going to say he was rash, blah, blah, blah. He looked tired today, and I don't blame him for that because he's played in 2.5 days. He's played 2 games, and Frank Lampard decided to leave him out there. He should have brought him off. You know what I mean? And for me, he was a 6.5. I'd say that's what I would have given him.
Actually, you know what? I don't even. Well, maybe it is a bit of a problem, but him playing all the time, I don't even think it's that. I think it's because in games that he's playing, he's having to do way too much. Because if he's playing in a 4-3-3 with Havertz, because Havertz doesn't do the defensive game, he's having to double up and do too much because you can't leave Kante on his own all the time. Or he's having to, now he's playing in a double pivot when he doesn't play in a pivot. When we're playing bad, he kind of has that responsibility on him, whether it's by Lampard or he just puts it on himself, where he has to he feels like he has to step up and do something and make something happen, which means he's going to make more mistakes.
Yeah, I hear you. We've got a man like Daniel, my boy from Eyes on the Ball TV. How you doing, bro? You all right?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
You're in pain. You sound like everyone that's coming on sounds like they're in pain, man. We're all in fucking pain right now. Dan, we're on to Mason Mount, mate. What's your rating out of 10 for him today?
5.
Why?
The pivot didn't make any sense. I mean, he tried. He worked hard like he always does, but nothing was really clicking today. He was average, innit? The team as a whole was poor. I think maybe you could say, if you want to say better performers, you could maybe put him in that category. But me personally, the way I watch football, there was no influence in it. So yeah, 5, average.
Yeah, I thought Mason Mount looked tired today, and I don't really blame him for it. I said this just earlier to these lot. I just feel like he was asked to play. I thought it looked to me like a 4-2-3-1, especially in the first, and even at the beginning of the second half, it looked like a 4-2-3-1 to me, and it just didn't work out how it should have. Alex, we will open the lines up for you to come in and have your say, bro. But please, can you smash the like button, please? There's nearly 22 of yous here. Smash the like button. Appreciate the support as always from you guys. We move on. This is painful, man. I can't believe every player rating I've done we've lost, other than Morgan. Who are we going on to next? I can't even remember who played in front of him. Was it Havertz? Was it? Yeah, Havertz. Yeah.
0. Didn't do anything in the game.
Right, where is he? I can't even find his name right now. That's how bad it is. Yeah, go on, Will Havertz. Tell me.
Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know if he was fully fit. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't have. I don't know. I think Ndidi just pocketed him. So I'll give him a 2.
Number one, I'm not going to say you're better than us. London is red. Yeah, I've never been better than us. All right, chill yourself out. When you've lost the game, yes, you're 2 points behind us, It's 38 games to be played, bro. So stop with the gas. Prime Havertz.
Yeah, 0. Well, remember when the lineups came out and we were talking, and I said
Yeah.
indeed he's going to pocket Havertz.
Yeah, and he did.
Havertz gets a 0. He didn't do anything in the game, but again, yeah, player take responsibility. But is that his fault if he's not really fit either?
Well, whatever. He should be fit. Why is he not going to be fit? I don't get it.
COVID, and he's still recovering from the effects of it.
He had COVID about fucking 3 months ago. I can't be like
It
for
took
me.
Pogba, it took Pogba 2 months to recover from COVID, and I still think Pogba is kind of average right now. So if it's Pogba and he's supposed to be world class, then Havertz clearly isn't back yet already.
Who is the best right back this season so far? I don't even care right now, Ram, to be honest. It's not even coming. I can't even think right now. It's not AWB. And it's not Trent. So get that out of your head. Daniel Havertz.
Yeah, he wasn't good. I mean, you obviously talking, a lot of people wanted the 4-2-3-1, but I have consistently said, when I said the evidence shows the 4-2-3-1 doesn't work, I mean, no one really listened. And obviously, again, another thing to go in the sample size. It's not even that I told you so, but it's more of, look, when the evidence says this thing hasn't worked, especially under the same manager, like, repetition is madness. Like, it is crazy. And like, when you play a 4-2-3-1, especially with a 10 like Havertz, the play needs to go through him. How many times did you really see a driven ball into him for him to control and say, do that?
Not
Like,
much.
you didn't see that. So as much as Havertz was poor, I wouldn't say the system allowed him to gave him a chance to play well. And that's,
my argument is, again, we wanted him in a 10. We played a 2, which wasn't our favoured 2.
No,
but the only one that would have changed that is Kante. Kante coming in and playing next to who? All right, Kovacic potentially. What difference would there have been on a 4-2-3-1?
No, that's my point. I said the 4-2-3-1 didn't. I think it was Monster Nita. I didn't prime you were part of the 4-2-3-1 gang, but I said the evidence shows we can't play the 4-2-3-1. We haven't implemented it well. It hasn't worked for us. But yeah, it's
Danny,
not.
When you say that, do you mean we can't play that with the players we currently have?
No, we can't play that with the manager that we have. He hasn't found.
Yeah, I agree.
He hasn't found the right combinations to unlock that formation. Think about when we won the league with that formation. What did it entail? Oscar, Mata, Hazard, interchanging the positions. You had, I believe it was Fabregas and Matic. They knew their roles. Deep line playmaker, and then sit in DM. Everyone knew their roles, and it was you could see the vision. Like, for me, I don't want to waffle on too much. I'm really not even in the mood, man. I'm really numb to it all now. Like, it's accumulative, and I've been saying it for a while. The Lampard regime is now just becoming accumulative. I said against Fulham, said against Aston Villa, the 2 wins that we have in this run, that we deserve to lose. On another day, we would have lost. To better teams, we would have lost those games. And it's accumulative. Every time we face a good team, we're gonna lose. Simple as currently as constructed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd give him a 2, 1, whatever you want to give him.
I'd actually give Havertz a 2 or 3. Again, I don't really blame him because I feel like the formation didn't really help. But we called for a 10. He played further up the pitch. He was meant to be next to Tammy. But if you're not going to get if you're not going to get the support in terms of a ball's played in, then there's no blimmin' point playing a 10, is there? And we're just not doing that enough. And it is what it is at the moment. It's painful. I feel drained, to be honest. I feel drained of it all. It's depressing to even watch. So we move on anyway. And the man that everyone wanted to play, Cho. Will, Cho today, please.
Don't even. I'll give him a 2 as well. Just not good enough. I mean, I saw a lot of Chelsea fans giving him a bit too much stick for that miss in the first half. I think that was harder than what people were saying it was. But yeah, apart from that, just poor.
Yeah, I just feel drained of it all, mate. I am. Look what I've just. I'm so tired, man. I don't know what to say right now. But Prime, what are you saying?
What? He didn't do anything in the game, but he had nothing. He had nothing. He couldn't. He didn't do anything in the game, but again, there was nothing there. Do you know what I mean? Tammy was. I will get onto Tammy, but Tammy, I keep telling people he's not good enough to be a starting striker for us to win the league.
Question.
He's not good enough for these big games. Callum had nothing to kind of feed off and play to. But yeah, it's 5.
Can I just 1 second? Let me answer this guy's question. He keeps saying I'm ignoring his question. I'm not. Serious question. Was Havertz a pointless signing? No, Velshran. He's not a pointless signing. Like what? Because he's not playing well at the moment. He's a pointless signing. No, he's been playing for 4 months in the Premier League, man. Give it a break.
If
Like,
Havertz
no.
if Havertz is a pointless signing, then so is Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, because they haven't played either. They're always injured.
It's just a silly. It's no. Is the answer to that. Daniel, your boy that you've been crying out to play. Tell me.
He wasn't good. I would say that the ball wasn't really played to him out wide. The one time he did get the ball and took on Justin was the time he got taken off. I think he was definitely more dangerous than Pulisic. Pulisic was worse than him, definitely. But I think he didn't demand for the ball. I wanted to see a bit of like, okay, cool, you got your start now. Now demand for the ball. Take the mantle and say you want to be that guy. That's what I wanted to see today. Obviously didn't see that. So yeah, it wasn't great. I'd say in and around the same as on Mount, where I mean he tried and he worked hard. I saw him working hard, but 4 or 5, whatever suits you. Like,
Yeah, it suits you. Whatever you believe, bro. It's your ratings. But for me, I think he should have done better with the shot that he had. I think hitting the side netting wasn't good enough. I think he should have at least got that on target. It was a good chance there. Other than that, did he do anything that stood out that made me feel like he should be playing? No. He has been very good in other games, but this game he was very poor, and I would give him a 2.5. I just think he was not good whatsoever. And this goes on to my next question on someone that's just been poor for the last couple of games, and we're going to talk about him now when I find his blimmin' name. Will, Christian Pulisic, tell me.
Again, so poor. And I've defended Christian Pulisic to this bad form, but I can't defend today. The only thing he really did well was win that foul on the edge of the box that we thought was a penalty. So I'll give him a 1.5, honestly.
1.5. I think that's generous. Prime.
I'll be honest, I didn't really notice he was there. 4?
4, yeah.
I didn't really notice he was there.
Fair enough. Daniel.
Also, can I just say, Vilvishwan, Keita and Ockendry did more than your player of the season, Kovacic, just saying. Well, they really didn't, but okay.
Beth says here, Pulisic shouldn't have started today. He's not been on form, but to be honest, doubt it would have made any difference. I feel like Ziyech should have started, to be honest. But we'll get to that very soon. But Dan, what were your thoughts on Pulisic today, mate?
It was good. I mean, the thing about Pulisic is you always see glimpses of the dribbling, like where he takes on about 2 men and then the free kick. You see it in like flashes, but his all-round output isn't good enough. I think I really wanted him to kick on from last season, even probably maybe like someone like him maybe take the mantle, but coupled with the injuries and the poor performances this season, I don't know if this is a small part of the wider team just not playing well, or this is actually his form right now. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough at all. Kind of marked out of the game. Castagna did a very, very good job on him. And yeah, just a free, like he wasn't good, man. He wasn't good at all.
No, it wasn't. It was poor. It was absolutely poor. And for me, he was a 1, and that's kind. He got the ball. You can see him trying. You know what he's trying to do with the ball. He tries to dribble and get through players. And I feel like at the moment when he's got the ball at his feet, it's like he's ice skating. Like he loses control of the ball a lot more than he did last season. I don't know if what that is to do with, or I don't know if you guys have noticed it as well. Like what he's good at, he seems to be struggling to pull through with. So for me, he was just poor. Yeah, he was definitely just poor. Will Bambi.
0. Honestly, he got bullied from minute to the end by Fofana, as Prime did say before. I didn't even notice he was there. Absolutely shocking. But you got to credit Fofana for doing his job really well.
No, you don't. Don't credit Fofana and Johnny Evans didn't have to do anything today. Literally, they didn't have to do anything today. Tammy was. I keep saying this guy cannot play in top 6 games. He cannot play against the bigger sides. Last season, Man United first game of the season. From then I knew when he tried to hold up the ball, he got pushed off by Maguire, and then they scored from that counter attack. I knew he can't play against those big teams. The only big team he scored against was Arsenal last season, and I don't count that.
Mustafi.
I don't count that. People can say he scored against Liverpool. Well, no, because Pulisic beat 4 players and set it up for a tap-in, so that doesn't count either. This guy doesn't turn up when you need him to. In the Champions League, how long last season did it take him to score? 3 games? This guy's... No. Is he a good backup? Yeah, sure, he is. But don't play him in these big games. I'd rather play Werner up front, and people say he's not in good form. Or Giroud was injured, you can't play Giroud. Play Werner up front.
Yeah, I hear you. Dan, Tammy.
Terrible. Wasn't good. Makes silly runs, dumb runs. If you actually watch his movements, all over the place. Saw a couple of glimpses in previous games, and everyone was cool. That's what we do as the Chelsea fans. We don't see someone for a couple of games, and then all of a sudden they should start. And they play bad, and then they go out of the team, and then they play bad again, and then Tammy Abraham should start. Like, come on, man. If we're being honest, look, he's a player who will chip in with goals. He can get you goals, and that's why I think he will be a good backup striker to whoever is the main man. But to be the main man, especially going into the games against the better teams, nah, come on, let's be serious. 2-1.
Yeah, I would give him. To be honest, I would just give him a 0. He was non-existent. We might as well not have had a blimmin' striker on the pitch. Like, we were playing with 10 men. That's how shit it was. Absolutely crap. And I'm fed up of it. Like, he's just not good enough. Like, and we keep giving this opportunity, and we've got people like Timo Werner on the bench. All right, he's not in the best of form, but I still have fucking Timo Werner on the pitch making runs and missing shots. At least he blimmin' puts himself in the right position. This donut runs the opposite way to what everyone else is doing all the time.
People can say Werner. People can say, sorry, Jem, continue.
Yeah, go on, mate.
People can say Werner misses 3 chances per game. He's going to score at least 1 anyway. And also, Tammy, I didn't give my rating. I gave Havertz a 0. I'm giving Tammy -5.
Oh yeah, he deserves it. He winds me up. I get angry when I watch him because he just does the opposite to what everyone else is doing. He's like the opposite. Everything's backwards with him. Like you push the ball in and you want him to run near post, he goes back post.
You know what's wrong with him? The guy is 6'4" and he doesn't know how to use his body.
Yeah. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, Prime. But anyway, we're going to talk about the subs, and we're going to start with Timo Werner. Will, what do you feel about Timo Werner today and his performance when he came on?
Well, he was a lot better than Tammy. You can say that. I don't think he was that bad. I'd give him maybe a 4.5. I thought he was all right when he came on.
Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense. Prime.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5. He offered something. He offered movement. He was actively trying, and Leicester were already winning anyway. So like they kind of just sat off essentially. But yeah,
I hear that. Danny boy.
I mean, he's looked better than he's been looking in the previous weeks. Thought he looked sharp. I think he beat. I've forgotten who he beat. Trying to pace, put through Pulisic. I think it was. There was also a time where I thought he actually got through on goal, but Johnny Evans made a good tackle. So he looked sharp, getting himself in good positions. I actually think it actually might have made sense to play Werner, especially when they kind of had a high line in transitions. So it could have made a lot of sense to play Werner, but hey, we will never know. So I'd give him a 5 just based on like.
I thought Timo Werner was actually when he came on, he actually looked good compared to the games I've seen him play. The last couple of games, he looked sharp. He looked good with the ball. He was taking players on. He scored a goal, which was unfortunate. Really, he got disallowed. It was that close though, wasn't it? When you look at the guy's arm or shoulder compared to Werner's shoulder, it was like millimeters, you know. So it's just, you know, when things ain't going for you, ain't going for you. I'd have just been happy for him just to score that. We still would have lost the game, but just getting that goal, you know what I mean? Like just to like make him feel a bit better about himself, like because at the end of the day, we know he's going to score goals. Let's be serious. We know he's going to start banging in goals. It's only a matter of time. But obviously, it's the issue we got is that we're not getting the best out of him, and it's not just him. We're not getting the best out of any of our players, and that's down to them either not wanting to play for him, not wanting to play for the manager because they don't trust his philosophy, or it's just that. That's all I can think of. Or they just don't like the formation. The formation's just dead. We'll talk about Ziyech. Will, what do you think about Ziyech when he came on?
I think he did all right. I think he got himself into the right positions at times. I think he just made the wrong decisions. He got himself into position, but just messed up at the last hurdle. So I'll give him a 4.
Fair enough. Prime. Prime. Are you going to say something?
I don't know. What did he?
Just whatever. Just give me a rate. 2, 3, 1.
No, he offered something, I guess. But he offered something, I guess. But I don't know. What? 4.
And Prime is sleeping. Yeah, you're right, Hassan. He's gone to sleep. Passed out on me. Dan, what are you saying?
I don't think he really had enough time to do it. He came into a terrible situation, but at the same time, could you say he offered? But yeah, I think it's unfair to kind of rate his performance, even though Werner came on with him and was sharp. I mean, yeah, it's one of them ones where you're trying to bring on a shining light into a very, very dark performance. It's not going to. It's like trying to match a light in total darkness. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
it is what it is.
3, 4. If I'm honest, just the player ratings like of this game in particular, like, and this is it's just so jarring. Like, this is so annoying.
Well, we'll get to move on to the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Lampard, and his performance today.
0. He should be sacked. I'm waiting for the tweet. He should be gone. Tomorrow should be gone.
Okay, fair enough, bro. Is there any reason why you feel like I'm just talking about this specific game though? In general, where do you think he went wrong?
Because I actually want to credit Dan for saying this a few days ago with the formation, because I feel like we think, and me included, sometimes has thought maybe if we change the formation, it's going to change the whole system, which it's not going to happen under Lampard.
I said
it's not going to happen because
yeah,
some people, not you guys, but they think that if we change the formation, it's just going to change everything just like that, and it's not going to happen. not under a manager at the level of Lampard anyway.
Yeah, I hear you, Will. I hear you. Prime Lampard.
I've been telling you that this guy he's not tactically aware in these big games. So again, when we go into big games, and I keep saying when we play Spurs or Liverpool or United or whatever, and I say we're going to lose, and people say, "Oh, you're not a real fan. You're not a real fan." Well, that's because I use my brain and I'm intelligent. I know what's going to happen. The only reason I said we'd win 2-1 yesterday was because I figured these players have to play for the manager, or they are playing for the manager. Once I saw that lineup, I knew we were going to get beat. I'm actually disappointed. Well, not disappointed, but I'm surprised Leicester didn't score more.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Dan, what you saying, bro?
Look, personally, the game today, if we're looking at the game in isolation, apart from making substitutions late, I believe he should have made subs at half time. I don't think it was necessarily him. Like, if we're looking at the game today, but my whole entire notion, or my whole entire argument about Lampard is that everything has been accumulative. Like, it hasn't been today's loss against Leicester wasn't because we came into the game with a tactical approach that didn't work out, and then Leicester ended up winning. It's been as a result of games, continuous flaws in performances that haven't been highlighted and haven't been addressed. Think about it. Let's go back to it when we started losing the Everton game. We looked tame in that game. Then you face Wolves. We looked tame in that game. Then you go to Arsenal. We looked tame in that game. Then you go to West Ham. We win 3-0, but we should have lost that game. Then we play Aston Villa. We draw 1-1. We should have lost that game if we're being honest with ourselves. Then you go to who was after West Ham. We played Man City. We lost that game. We got battered in that game, and I said we were going to lose that game. It was obvious. Performances. Yeah. Then we go to who did we play? Fulham. I said Fulham. If Fulham had 11 men, I'm telling you today, if Fulham had 11 men, they would have beaten us. Like, Cavallero just missed a sitter. Then they had 10 men. Even when they had 10 men, they were still looking dangerous. We still gave them a chance in the game. And then it comes to today, a much better team than us. Like, Leicester on paper aren't better than us, but they're a far, far better team than us. And what's the shining thing between both lineups? One's got a manager who's experienced, who knows how to set up a team and knows what he wants in terms of the style of play and how his team plays, and another doesn't. And what I've consistently said is, if there isn't a style, I'm not going to buy into the process. I need to see the style. Lose with a style. Lose with a way of playing. Pep was stubborn. Klopp was stubborn. Even when people were criticizing their systems, they stuck with it. There's not even a system to say we're sticking to. What today we didn't even cross that much. I don't even think today we crossed. Like, we were just passing the ball. It was people playing with their mates. Like, I don't even. It shows. I don't know what we do, and it's not a coincidence that the one time we get a real opening, the penalty. How did that happen? Tell me. A quick 1-2 in the middle of the pitch, where there was space, where someone takes a risk and passes the ball forward. Quick 1-2, and he drives at the back line. How many after that penalty? Surely common sense tells the manager, that's what I want. Those quick fire combinations, try those. Even if they don't work, try it. I didn't even see it tried once. You saw the only slack I'm going to give Tammy is Tammy was making runs off the ball, but then we choose to not play the ball forward. We go backwards. Reece James had a poor game. I wish I could rate him. He was poor. I mean, yes, I don't know if I'd still give him the best right back in the league in terms of as the season, in terms of performances. He had been the best in terms of his performances individually, but since the rumored injury, he hasn't been the same. Chilwell was kind of regressed now since his quick fire start. And the only person who really looks assured in this disaster class of a team is really Thiago Silva. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's poor. And
well, like, Jem, tell me the last time you were impressed by this Chelsea team. Tell me the last game that you were impressed.
It's been a long while, but don't get me wrong, I wasn't even impressed when we were 17-match unbeaten, when everyone was getting gassed. Yeah, we win this. Yeah. And even then, I was still chilling chilling about it, and I said, look, we're going to be like a roller coaster. We're going to go like this, we're going to go like this, then we're going to go like this. Why? Because we've got a manager that's still learning himself, learning to adapt. He's never managed £259 million worth of players that have coming in. Do you know what I mean? Man's been managing Derby, and now he's been given like all the tools in the world to go and make something happen. Of course, he's going to make silly mistakes, and maybe he ain't. I would say maybe. Obviously, he ain't the manager for that because he's just not ready for them. He's not ready for that. He hasn't got the formations and the know-how and the understanding. And maybe, like a lot of people say, him learning on the job. Maybe this is not the job you learn on. And we know from in the past that you can't do that here. You can't learn on the job here because you don't have that enough time. The only thing I would say about today and Lampard, and I'm going to air it again, I did say it at the beginning, I don't really blame him too much for today. Other than I feel like he should have brought Timo Werner on and Ziyech on earlier. I think he should have done it at half-time. In my eyes, he should have done it in half-time. I don't really blame him much today. And the reason I don't blame him much today is because the 2 goals we conceded were defensive errors. I don't care if you've got Tuchel here, Will, or if you've got Nangelsmann here. Yeah, they are basic goals to give away.
And that is why, let me cut you off, sorry. That is why you're wrong. You say you don't blame him. How can you go into a game without a recognized DM or a deep line playmaker, or you change or alter your system to counteract the fact that you don't have a defensive player? No, because you just said defensive errors we made.
Yeah, I'm talking about the goals. The goals. I'm talking about the goals.
But I'm talking about the whole game.
No, I'm talking about the goals. What actually cost us this game? The 2 silly goals that we gave at the beginning of the first half. Yeah, the goal that we conceded from the corner. We had 10 or 11 men in the box, all staring at Ndidi at the end of the box and allowing him to shoot. Do you reckon John Terry would have done that?
Okay,
do you reckon any of the other
that's a Lampard tactical issue?
No, but at least throw yourself. Go pressure him. Put some pressure on him or something. They all stood and just let him shoot. Yeah, go on, shoot. He's sitting in DD. And what do you go and do? He goes and buries it, yeah? The second goal. How is that even Lampard's fault? If any of you can tell me where it was Lampard's fault there.
No, it's
for me,
Rudiger's.
that's basic defensive issues. Reece James is out of position.
He's out of position, but Rudiger needs to assess the situation. But I know Reece James.
What I'm trying to get at, Dan, is it's an issue with the players as well. We bang on about Lampard. It's defensive issues.
In that instance, though, the only reason why I will give him a bit of the blame for Rudiger is because I don't understand why Rudiger's starting both games. What happened to Zuma? Is he injured?
I don't know. That's what I'm going to ask you next. Why is Zuma
all season?
Why is
you see a guy on loan in Tomori who made only one mistake all season and doesn't get a look in again, and you wanna play Rudiger, who you actively wanted to sell, and now he comes back. Like his decisions, his lineups, they're all questionable. His selections, they're all questionable. His nows, his tactical application, it's all question. Tell me one thing you're so assured on about Lampard, and this is not even stick at Mason Mount, but he's the only player he's getting the best out of. That's not good enough. How can one player of 11 be the only?
Daniel, I've told you he's not. The thing is,
it's not good enough.
He's not even getting the best out of Mason Mount. Mason Mount is no. Listen.
Yeah, I'd even say that. Yeah,
no, because Mount from this season to last season, other than the fact of his natural progression, because players will naturally progress, Mount hasn't actually improved or developed. There are things he's doing this season that he's still doing from last season. Reece James, he's progressed because of his natural development, but he hasn't improved tactically either. Tammy hasn't improved tactically either.
Yeah. Look, they're players that are gonna make mistakes. They're young players, Prime. Tammy is just
that's not what I said.
Go on.
That's not what I said. I expect the mistakes of the young players. That's not what I said. I said they haven't improved tactically. There should be, if you're playing in a system and you have patterns and styles of play, there should be certain things that you should be doing because it's part of your natural pattern and your natural style of play. You look at how City play and De Bruyne with his crosses. Yeah, if you put in I don't know who else is good at crosses in the league. James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse is not on the level of Kevin De Bruyne. However, James Ward-Prowse would still be putting in crosses because he would still be playing within that system. If you're playing a system, I should expect the patterns and the styles of play. We don't have that.
Yeah. All right, fine. Look, at the end of the day, my point of today was that as much as we bang on about Lampard, and yes, it's clear that the management wise of the players, they're not playing for him. I get that, but my point is this: we were poor today, and we were poor because in two defensive situations where we could not conceded them goals, we did, and that was down to the players. It's not. We can't just keep pointing the finger at Lampard here. It doesn't matter if Tuchel was here or not. Yeah, if Tuchel was here and that happened, what would we have said? What would we have said then? Do you know what I mean? It's just easy for us to point the finger at Lampard at the moment with certain things. And for me, played a 4-2-3-1 today, which a lot of people called for. Yeah, he played he played the 4-2-3-1 that people called for. He then played Cho. He also played Cho in a position today, which everyone wanted. Everyone was banging on Cho. Yeah, Cho comes on the pitch. Yeah, has a poor game. But the goals were down to our own capabilities, our defensive, structure.
Can I
And
ask
that is, do you know what I mean? Go on, Prime.
the 2 goals we conceded? Fine. You say the players not doing. Hold on. You say the 2 players not doing any. Beaks is here. Bob, cool. You say the 2 players not doing anything. Brilliant. What was our tactical setup for those 2 goals we conceded then? Because when I keep saying Lampard, you're saying it's the players as well, and I get the players. What was our tactical setup? Jem, I know you can hear me. Answer, please. Bobs, shut up. Beaks, shut up.
Listen, they're not going to be on too long.
Jem, do you hear me?
No,
do you hear
Jem,
me?
I'm not going to smoke at you, man.
No.
I'm gonna
Answer my. Wait, Bobs, 1 second. Jem, answer the question. You say, because I keep saying the manager and the setup, you're saying the players as well. I get the players, fine. What the 2 goals we conceded, what was our tactical setup then that the players just weren't doing? Yes.
Are you talking? Well, what? The tactical setup? You're talking about us as I don't understand.
The 2 goals we conceded, you're saying the players not doing anything or putting your body on the line and stuff, and I get that. But what was our tactical setup in order to try and stop those 2 goals?
Oh, don't give me that. So you're telling me from a corner, that when the ball goes onto the outside of the box, the natural instinct of a player, which you learn at the age of 10 onwards, is to not. And Bob's has played himself, is not to run out and shut the ball down. You just stand there and stare at him and just let him shoot on the outside of the box. It doesn't matter what. This is where tactics. It's not FIFA.
No, but
Jem, that is not what I said. Managers should have tactics and how to set up and defend corners. So I'm just asking, what is our setup? Because I don't understand it, so I'm genuinely asking.
What has it got to do with the goals? The players were at fault for the goals.
I am not disagreeing with you with the player. I'm not disagreeing with you with the players. But everyone, wait,
as
Daniel,
usual, we keep alluding to Lampard.
I'm not. No, you don't understand me because I'm of the thing of everyone takes their own fair portion of the blame. I just want to understand what was our tactical setup. Because if we had a plan, but the players didn't follow it, then perfect. I just want to know what the plan was.
yes,
I don't. The plan was to play a 4-2-3-1 in my eyes, with Mason Mount as the guy in next to Kovacic, which obviously didn't work. And we done the same bollocks, which is passing it on the wings instead of looking forward, going backwards when players are making run behind the defenders. And at the end of the day, that's not. We can moan about Lampard, and it is Lampard because obviously he's laid them out like that. But these the players also have to look at themselves as well. And that's my point.
Jem.
It's easy.
Jem,
all these Chelsea fans, you use Lampard as a scapegoat. Lampard. It's all Lampard.
You know I always blame the players as well. I always talk about the players as well. I'm asking what the tactical setup was.
No, but I understand why you want them out. I understand why you want Lampard out, right? I get it completely. Because whether it's Lampard's tactics or he's lost the dressing room, I have a real issue with professional footballers. I didn't play like Bob standard, but I never had to get up for a game myself.
What, Bob was a baller like that? Everyone just referencing Bob. Hey, allow it,
No,
man.
no, but I'm just saying.
No, bro,
like,
Daniel, it was my job, man. Listen, it's my occupation,
Get
bro.
up for a game.
Ask about me, bro. Ask about me.
Top players shouldn't need to get up for a game.
Not at all, mate. Not at all.
No.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
right.
these players,
Yes.
when I seen them today, it was like a testimonial game. All of it.
It would.
And I mean the basics. So they're trying to push it out wide. That's not working. Let's just force it through the middle. Even when there's 5 players in front of us in the box, we'll try and dribble through everybody. It was poor.
Sorry,
What's the point? What's the basics of football? Get the ball, give it to somebody who's in a better position than you. They couldn't do that. They lacked desire. They lacked heart.
Speaks. Turn your
I'm
camera.
sorry,
why? Because they're
players who did
playing
not get
for
up for
Indiana.
a game, and whether that's down to the fact that they've lost love with the manager,
But it is. That's man
I
management for you.
don't care. I really don't care. But it's not.
At the end of the day,
tactical.
at the end of the day, look, this is what I keep saying, and there's a lot of different aspects that we can look at this, but we need to be more kind of holistic with the approach in it. We can't just be looking at the players need to show more heart or players need to take more risk. You understand that it's the job at the end of the day, but as you can't. Hey Bob, shut up. You can't set 11 players in it, and at the end of the day, yes, players should take more responsibility.
What's he doing here?
No, Prime's
got everyone's
a
pictures,
weirdo.
man.
This guy's actually a weirdo. Anyway,
That's actually cheered me up today. That's the first time I smiled. Fuck it up.
what I'm basically trying to say though is that, fam, at the end of the day, when we look at Chelsea, forget the goals. This is what I keep saying. Performance also matters. If we are losing with style, if we are losing with a certain style of play that we understand that we created a bucket load of chances and we missed those chances, then fair play. We understand. Cool. So we missed their chances. But I told you today we didn't even cross the ball. Today it was play it sideways and run it back. Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't even cross it today. So, like,
boys, can I quickly shout out? There's nearly 40 odd people here right now. Smash the like button, share, retweet, do your thing. No, we appreciate your support right now, and yeah, guys, keep retweeting it. Yeah, keep retweeting it away.
Can I ask a question, Jay?
Yeah, go on.
To the Chelsea fans, yeah. Obviously, tonight wasn't your night. You know, these things happen. You know, Leicester away isn't for everyone. It's always a tough fixture.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lampard's instructions, you know, Lampard can coach them, blah, blah, blah. But once they cross that white line, yeah, your players today were absolutely rubbish. Like, rubbish.
Yeah, they were. And this is my Bobs.
No, but you said, and that's the only place where I do disagree with you, Jem, innit? Where I do agree in terms of the players taking responsibility in terms of how they apply themselves and the application. A big reason as to why Mourinho and a lot of these managers got sacked is because in terms of their tactics weren't winning games. And what we're trying to say with Lampard is for a long time his tactics haven't been winning games. So as much as you want to blame the players, the first time, just like I mentioned and I alluded to, the combination between Pulisic and I can't remember who it was, but almost won the penalty. That was the first time we saw a 1-2 combination in how many games? I can't remember. Together, a combination of a simple 1-2 in the middle of the park, and that's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I'm saying?
Can I say something quickly? Yeah. Listen, anyone can blame the manager, and anyone can blame the players. For me, I blame both. But when there's no character or leadership at the field, listen, I know you guys still. For me, the players will still need time to gel, even if you guys do switch your manager. But for me, there is no ambition on the field. I've been saying this for time now. If there's no ambition on the field, you don't win games. And we've seen it with United.
Where does
You have
ambition
ambition in time. That's why we win games.
Yeah, can I just say something really quickly, actually? And you've actually brought saying up really important ads that's come to my head, right? One of the things that does get me as well, if you look at the players we've signed and we've brought in, yes, they're very talented, they're very young, but they haven't got the pedigrees that we had in the past, like the Eden Hazards, the Gary Cahles that had won things, the Cesc Fabregases, yeah. So we've got all these players in that have come in this season, and this is where I say more for Chelsea fans at the beginning of the season, because I never said it, and I know a lot of us, and Danny didn't say it, and whatever. Saying that we were going to win the title is ludicrous because the players that you had coming in haven't won things before. Yes, they need a system that works to get the best out of them to then go on and win things. But that doesn't happen overnight. This what is happening right now is bad, but it was always going to happen.
But even forget that, Kev. I'm saying
Not necessarily.
With what I'd said, yeah, because I don't even necessarily agree with that. Obviously, I understand the premise, but I don't necessarily agree with that because the question is, where does ambition come from? Every team, every great team that we've seen in the past, they've taken on the identity of their manager. Every Premier League team that we've seen win consistently at the top level, you can say, oh, it's because the manager has implemented this, this, and this.
There's so much more to a manager than coaching football.
Exactly, so much more. And my problem is that if I saw a system that was being implemented, I would be part of, and we were losing, I'd still be saying, trust Lampard because I can see what he's trying to implement. You just need to give him time. Because
Boys, we've
got two guys at the bottom that haven't had a word. They're Chelsea fans as well. Connor, how you doing, bro? You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm just, enduring like the rest of us.
How is sunny wherever you are at the moment?
So I'm in Hawaii, and
is it?
I woke up at 10 o'clock to see what I saw. It was pretty depressing.
Yeah. That must have been depressing, bro.
You should have woke up, bro.
You know what's really depressing? What's really depressing is this massive rebuild. If anybody watches American sports, and I haven't seen anything like it in English football, right, is the rebuild we have, right, going on. Frank's out. Okay, it is what it is. Even if he can salvage or get a win in the next two games, he's out. It is what it is. They're probably already looking for replacements last week. So my biggest thing is, as a Chelsea fan, is my love for Chelsea goes past any single player, goes past any coach, right? I just want to see club success. And what's scarier to me than Frank Lampard dropping the ball as a manager is the performance that our players are putting in and day out. We're building a team around Mason Mount, and I watched the game, and most of you being, past soccer players, he's supposed to be the general in the midfield, and Silva and Rudiger get the ball, and he is standing still. He is not moving into open space. He's not moving other players around. He's not trying to pull a defender to himself to at least open someone else up. This man gets so much praise because he can bang in a lucky rebound goal, but yet he doesn't do what he needs to do as a midfielder. And I'll just real quickly, I'm going to go through the ratings, right? Silva, so frustrated, right? Coming from France, coming from places where he's been the general before, so frustrated. Chilwell, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, there were so many times where Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Tammy, all these people are making runs, but he wants to drag the ball backwards and send it back to Rudiger. Rudiger, lackluster. I mean, Reece James, I guess he's like finding his form. I don't really know. Mason Mount, abysmal. I mean, there's so many times you stand there. Kovacic is running back, sweeping behind our main center backs instead of moving to open space in the midfield. And all he's doing is servicing the ball in this massive U shape to the wings, to Rudiger, to Silva, to any sort of buffer in between. That's getting us nowhere. Hudson-Odoi, I mean, I forgot he was even playing the game. People love to find a new favorite. Like once Ziyech is out or Pulisic doesn't perform, people love to find a new charitable person in the league or in the team. Yeah. This man, first touch he had, loses the ball. First cross attempt he has, crosses it to the goalkeeper, takes on no man. I mean, the connection between him and the rest of the team is, him and Tammy didn't make any 1-2 link-ups. He barely moves into the center of the pitch when Tammy moves left and Pulisic goes to service the ball from Chilwell. I don't even think Hudson-Odoi deserved to start the next game after his performance today. Ziyech comes on, gets frustrated, and plays abysmal. I mean, Pulisic, he gets the minutes, but he's not really producing anything. Granted, he had a good penalty, but obviously we expect more from these players, and they're not performing. And to me, that's a bigger final thing I'll say. To me, that's a bigger problem than any one person, any player management, or any coach. When these people don't come out and perform for the team, perform for the badge, Reece James misses simple textbook, markings, or there's 4 people inside unmarking anyone in the box. And one of the best strikers on Leicester City is sitting outside unmarked. I mean, those are just simple things. That's something I expect Silva to call out when he's scanning the box before they take the corner. That's something I expect. It's just a whole mess, to be honest.
It's a mentality problem, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like I'm never a manager out, but if they don't want to play for a manager, he has to go. Like if it's Alex Ferguson and the players don't want to play for him, he has to go. The players aren't going anywhere. There's a big.
But
I think the big problem.
Who do the players play for? Do they play for the paychecks? Do they play for Jesus? Do they play for the fan base?
Most of them play for a paycheck nowadays. Let's be honest. But
because most of them aren't even earning their paycheck with the performance out there.
They all play for a paycheck because if they didn't, they play for the clubs they grew up supporting for their love of football. That's where most players would be. Let's be honest. It's a paycheck.
I hear that.
It was a midfield. I think Mount was lost. That system today was just gone. Whatever they were trying to do, Mount. I'm seeing Mount literally look over his shoulder as if to say, "Where the fuck am I?" It was that bad.
Indiana.
He was supposed to be fluid today, no?
If I see Silva get the ball played back to him, and he's looking for a long ball, and two players make a run, and he doesn't play it, and if I see Mount stand in the middle of the pitch, look left and right, don't move, he doesn't move a single step, and hold his arms up for service, when at least 3 Leicester City players are boxing him in, and they force us to go wide.
They know they're going to press. They know Leicester are going to press.
Yeah, but Indiana, we're so predictable. It's boring. Like everyone knows how to set up against us because we're so fucking predictable.
Where does that come from? Because what I'm saying is, look. I'm not
sitting here not blaming Lampard.
No. I know. I'm saying, I'm even agreeing. And I know, Alex, you want to go, but I'm saying, look. At the end of the day, when you look at guys like Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, between the 3 of them, before they came Chelsea, altogether had 100 goal contributions. You don't go from having 100 goal contributions as a trio to come to a club, and between the 3 of you, I don't even think. Let's take away Werner's stuff that ain't in the league. Between the 3 of you, I don't even think you have 10. Probably have like 15 at best. That doesn't happen. They're not bad players. These aren't bad players. A system needs to be implemented, and it's not being implemented, and that's where the line is drawn for me. When a manager cannot create a system for his players to thrive, when he has said this person is my key player and we're not getting results, but you're persistent with that, then there's a problem.
So I got a question for you, Jim, and I got a question for the guys. So I just want you guys to think about this, right? As a coach, right? Say you're even a medium experienced coach, okay? You take a job where you're going to have a 250 million plus purse, right? You're going to have a team where you're going to have 4 Bundesliga players, right? 3 French players, and then the rest a mixture of youth and English Premier League players. And you're going to try, as an inexperienced manager, take these people into a league and expect the top 4 Champions League, quarterfinal, final finish with all these narratives involved. Then you have COVID come out, drop one of your, performing players, Havertz. He doesn't practice. He doesn't get in with the team. Your own flaws cause you to rotate the squad so much that no chemistry builds. I mean, it's a tough job. I mean, you have teams like Leicester City, Spurs, Man City. Liverpool. They've had time to build a franchise. And I feel like we're watching the pot try and boil, and nothing's happening, and we're getting upset about it.
It is a tough job, but if they don't buy into what they're doing, what any coaches are doing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But here my thing to that is I don't expect Tuchel or anybody else to come in and be able to produce a splendid cake out of the shit show that we have in Chelsea right now.
You say this, right? Wait. You say this, but if you're a Timo Werner, right, and when he came in, he was all right. He wasn't at his best, but he was all right. If you start to dip, and then you're looking at Frank Lampard, the manager, bear in mind he didn't retire long ago. Timo Werner is old enough to have been watching Frank Lampard when he was a kid. My thing is with this is that with no experience, how are these players looking at Frank? Are they looking at him as an ex-player, or are they looking at him as a manager?
Must be.
I agree.
They're not showing him the correct. showing him the correct respect that a manager you'd usually demand, and then probably because he hasn't got the experience, they probably still look at him as that player, and they know where he's come from and his background. But the bad thing is, right, Frank Lampard wore the badge on his arm. Like he's the kind of man that you would want. If he had the experience behind him, you would want running your club because he knows what it means to play for the team.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame. But Alex, what do you want to say, bro? Who's been quiet?
Sorry, I didn't know what your name was. What was your name? The guy from Hawaii?
Oh, Connor. You can just call me Connor.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to. I think one of the things, that I think there is still a big part of the transfers that kind of Chelsea made. Besides, yes, maybe Lampard, all the players he's brought in were his players. But I think there is still a thing behind where the club in itself, Abramovich and what's the woman's name? It's kind of also still like there's still kind of transfers that are made to Chelsea because it's just I wouldn't believe at first that all these players were Lampard's. Maybe he chose and Lampard said it's fine, okay, let's have these. But at the end of the day, these players are going to be here and Lampard probably won't be. So it's kind of like, is Abramovich just spending money just to kind of refill the old and build a new? And then over the next 2-3 years, when we have a new manager, then these players can get better and better over 2-3 managers. But that's not the best way of going about it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. So my thing is, right, this is my understanding of what's happening, I guess. So for me, I wish that Chelsea would do this for once. I wish that they would televise a real practice, a legitimate practice. I want to see what happens because we've all been to soccer practice. When you play, and think about these guys, right? We're not talking like middle school or, uni or whatever, or playing like as a kid. These guys are playing day in, day out. They're in bubbles. They're living together. They have to be forming some sort of chemistry. Like Tammy Abraham has to know that, Christian Pulisic's going to run before he passes and that Havertz is going to pass before he runs. Like little things like that, I don't understand like as a unit where the team sense is. Like little things like Chilwell giving the ball to Mason Mount when Mason Mount wants it played through instead. Like, Conte trying to, play the ball out wide where Ziyech wants it at his feet, not over the top. Little things like that.
But these are player decisions though, no?
No. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's what feels off to me. That's why I wish they televise a practice.
I don't think there'd be a problem with the actual coaching itself. I think there's a problem with the system.
Yeah.
When it comes to the coaching, it won't be are these players good enough to play the system? It will be that the system is wrong for these players. I keep saying this to people. Like people forget that every player is a system player. In that a manager will buy players to fit his system. Like I don't think these players were bought for Frank. I said in the window, I said Frank's here to bed them in, and then this is Chelsea.
Correct.
This is Chelsea Football Club. They will go for a proven manager. They will go out to win something. They want to secure top 4. They want that 100 million Champions League money. I've always believed that. I've never thought Frank was here for the long term.
I think that old Chelsea is dead. I think that honestly, the beginning of this season is a turning point for Chelsea fans and Chelsea as a club that people were not ready for. That we will never have another Eden Hazard. We will never have another Lampard in the midfield. We will never have another Costa. Chelsea has to figure out a system. We have brought in a roster of players that are quality. We're talking Champions League finalists, top of the league quality, and we have money to fill a couple spaces here and there. But something is going to happen. Some style of football has to be implemented. Something has to change. And what I meant lastly in my last bit is that if I play with Jem for the next 4 months, we could be in a 4-3-3, but I know how Jem plays, and we mesh together. I understand. Like you can see people moving out of the 4-2-3-1 position. Christian playing central. I mean, granted, I am biased. I'll be real with you. I'm biased towards Christian Pulisic. I'm American. It is what it is. For me,
it is what it is.
For me, I see Christian
He's been
Pulisic
poor though,
on the
Connor.
box.
He's been poor, mate. The last couple of games, really
Yeah,
poor.
he has.
I rate
He
him
has.
very low.
He's got the talent, though. He's got the talent.
Absolutely, but he's been better than our other wingers, in my opinion. So
I don't
here's
know
the
about that.
thing, right? I see Christian Pulisic diving on the box, back where a center back is. I see him running back to play left back with Chilwell, and I'm just so confused at this mispositioning of players. Like I see Chilwell, or I see Reece James.
Do you know what it is, Connor?
What?
I'll tell you what it is, and I keep saying it on here as well. It's the lack of understanding from players in their roles. So they're not understanding. They're not understanding what Lampard's asking them to do within the game. So this is why you're seeing people like Pulisic, running around like a headless chicken, trying to win balls back in the wrong positions. Havertz and Mount, when they're playing as 2-8s, instead of making runs behind the defence, running to the right into a triangle next to James and Ziyech, and just playing little triangles between them, and we're not making any runs. But this is why the formation ain't working, because they're not understanding what it is that is required of them, and I don't get it. They're in training. What are they doing?
Can I say something quickly, Jen? Can I say something quick?
Go ahead.
You've just come out and said that you're going to be playing bus. Yeah, listen, Pulisic has been just as bad as Ziyech. I'm not hearing this again, man. I don't know what it is with a certain crowd. Why is Pulisic getting more praise and getting back behind more than Ziyech? He just came out and said, no, Connor, 1 second. What has made Pulisic his performance lately better than Ziyech's?
All right, you ready? I can give you an example for Ziyech, and I can give you an example for Cho. Would you like both?
Yeah,
all right, so Ziyech, right? What are you comparing? So listen, we're going to take the last 3 games, okay? Cho and Ziyech together. They had one incident where Cho comes on and scores a late-minute goal against a lackluster team. And because of that, because he comes on and scores a late-minute goal when the team's been thriving and thrusting for 90 minutes, that deserves him 90 minutes in a start. Like, he's the best winger we have. Ziyech came on today. Ziyech came on today, right, and performed what? Defensive. So here's the thing. As a winger, too, you got to look at their defensive work rate as well. When we're talking about chances, I'll give Hudson-Odoi one opportunity. He hit the side netting, got a good ball, hit the side netting. Other than that, he has had 0 chances. He has actually been a winger for Chelsea that has lost more possessions than he has gained or retained. At least when we're thriving with the ball, Pulisic is running through the team, he's at least looking for a pass. He's played players on. He's been very
wasteful, though.
And his defensive work rate is times 20.
Connor, listen, mate. I'm sorry to say this, but the facts are, and I'm a neutral, I'm a United fan. The facts are, in the past 3 games, I've seen more commitment and ambition from Hudson-Odoi than I have from Pulisic.
How have you done that? I've watched this.
Okay, cool. You're there backing Pulisic. What has Pulisic done? Can you answer that question?
So then we're going to tie it up here because we're nearly out of an hour and a half now. So
let me be honest in it. Look, let's look at it like this. Look, Pulisic going into the season was the person a lot of Chelsea fans had a lot of high hopes for in terms of output. Someone who was able from the wings, because Lampard has been screaming about it. Like, he's saying he wants his wingers to have end product. Cool. That's already out of the window because I think his wingers combined have a total of about 7 goals in total. I think it's even less than that. I think Pulisic has 1 goal in the league. Hudson-Odoi has 1 goal. Ziyech has 1 goal. So it's not great reading anyway. So I don't want to digest into the system and why that's not working, but our wingers aren't scoring enough goals. One. When it comes to Pulisic, especially this season, granted he came back from an injury, it was a hamstring injury, and I think he even had a setback with that injury after the Arsenal game. Coming into the season, we're giving him the time to ease back into the team, but there's only so much we can do in terms of how long a player can come in and then get into form. I understand what you're saying in terms of what Pulisic is doing in terms of he's trying. However, Pulisic is a player right now that's working in moments where he'll beat 2 or 3 guys and win a free kick, but then won't do anything for another half an hour. And that's the problem that I'm having with Pulisic. It's either we're seeing him do something, but then it's not quite there, and then we don't see it again for another 40 minutes. At least with Hudson-Odoi, when you look at it, you can't just look at the last 3 games. Let's take our mind all the way back. When Ziyech and these players, Pulisic, were injured, Cho was our only fit winger, but he still wasn't starting games. That's an injustice. That either shows me that you're not trusting him, he's not doing something in training, or you just don't like him as a football player. So why didn't you let him go to Bayern Munich? Look,
Daniel, can I say something quickly there, bro?
I'm literally wrapping. I'm almost done. So
yeah, go ahead.
That's the first thing with Cho. The second thing is when he does finally come on, I believe it is in the Arsenal game where he is given a chance to come on.
Yeah,
He
Arsenal.
comes on and gets an assist. He comes on and shows desire, comes on and shows hunger. That's after Pulisic and Ziyech have done nothing in that game. Then you look at the Wolves game. Cho doesn't even play in that game, doesn't come on in that game. And everyone's wondering why. We ended up losing that game. Then you look at the Aston Villa game. The Aston Villa game, Cho was probably our best attacker in that game where we win. No, not Aston Villa, sorry, West Ham game. Cho was probably our best attacker where we win 3-0. Then you look at the Aston Villa game. Cho was our best attacker in the first half. Second half, yes, performance dipped. But when was the last time Pulisic was the shining light in our attack? When was the last time you can say that? Because I could even say that this season, Werner's had better performances than Pulisic this season. And that's not good enough. For Pulisic, we have high standards because of what he showed us last year, where he scored 10 goals. He's not been good enough this season, and that's facts. Regardless of the bias, and I understand it, it's totally understandable, but even take bias away from it. Pulisic going into this season was supposed to be our best winger. I don't care if Ziyech was coming in. Pulisic
I agree. Before you wrap it up, can I just say something though, Daniel?
Yeah, go on,
you know me, bro. I'm just gonna say it as plain and simple as possible. Cho might be the standout out of those, but no way would I say that that any of them have had a good season at all. I think it's just been very, 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 very plain, simple average. I expect way more from Cho, and if he can do it on a consistent basis, then that's fair enough. But it's still not. It's a little too late for me because it's done now. Lampard's finished. I'm sorry, he is, and the players are throwing him under the bus.
Yeah, no one agree. I mean, no, everyone agrees with that, and it is the managers more so. I mean, the players more so that have forced this more so in my eyes. And yeah, he hasn't helped himself. He's been naive with his formations and his tactics, and I get that. But it is what it is, and you have to move on. I am going to finish off. Did anyone want to say one more thing, Connor?
Could I mention just one more thing?
Who's that? Alex, go on, Alex.
Yeah. But two things. So I think Pulisic is still. He's still a young player. He's only 22, maybe 23 this year.
No,
the only problem I find with Pulisic is that he's a bit like a Robbie player. He'll get the ball, dribble 3 or 4 players, but the only thing he's missing at the moment is the end product. If he adds that to his game, sometimes he's not that composed on the ball. If he adds that to his game, he'll end up scoring more goals and more.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is maybe. It's not all Pulisic's fault. Like maybe just also the way that Lampard is playing the tactics around. Because at the moment, whenever I see Pulisic play on the ball, he's just always kind of going up the wing and then coming back in. He's never going on the left hand side of a left back. He's never going towards them. He's always recycle the ball. Why doesn't Lampard tell him more to just go at players, go at them? Like, you know what I mean? Even if you lose the ball, at least you're trying to go at players and. I'm more like a one-on-one kind of.
And even in that, for Connor, I don't know, Connor, are you an NBA fan?
Yeah, I'm an NBA fan.
The perfect example I use for Pulisic, even when I describe it, I always say it's a bit like Zach LaVine, where these guys try. They're trying their best. They're in a bad situation where they're trying, but at the end of the day, in their trying, it's not good enough because at the end of the day, the team around them is still losing. Yes, Zach LaVine has the odd 40-point game where he's killing it, but then you end up looking at the scoreline and they've lost the game. Do you know what I'm saying? And it happens time and time again. It's still, we have high expectations for these type of players. They have all-star potential, all-star ability, but it's still not good enough because they're not showing it on a consistent basis, and that's the problem I have with Pulisic. It's not consistent enough.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the last thing that I'll add
last
to that.
Thing, Connor,
yeah, last thing is I do think that we're lucky for Chelsea fans that we do have the argument of. I think it's funny that you look on Twitter, and I don't know if it's just because Twitter thrives off debates and drama, but the Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, Pulisic, like three wing debate is good for us in a sense in a big picture because I think that they're 3 quality wingers, very quality wingers any club would love to have. So if we can find, and honestly, if we could win games and Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi could get onto form, I would sacrifice Pulisic sitting the bench to win. So I think it's good that we have 3 chances of 3 quality players getting form, then not.
Yeah, I hear you, Connor. I hear you. Kai Havertz is in the chat. He's saying he was 10, apparently, but I disagree with that. I don't know what happened to Connor. Is he gone? Oh, he's there. Who's just cut? Dan's cut, isn't he? Oh, Dan's cut. Yeah. But yeah, people, again, we appreciate your support. It was a great show tonight. Had a lot of fun actually. It's not a lot of fun actually, a lot of pain, but a lot of fun listening to you guys. And I'm getting fed up of doing player ratings where I'm having to actually be stressed. I want to be coming on here like, yeah, Pulisic was this and Ziyech was that and Werner's hat-trick, boys. That was sick, wasn't it? Like, I've not had that once yet, So at the moment,
I'm worried. Sorry, I'm worried for the next 2 months. From in February, we have Champions League games. Then we have Man U. Then we have in February is like the worst month. It's literally we have so many games coming up.
We've got Wolves on. I think we've got Wolves next week as well. We got to win that, and then we go into Tottenham, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. We're going to do a show tomorrow, another show anyway, where you can all jump in. We'll have the chat again. We'll bring up the fixtures lists and stuff, and have a look at the crap that we got to go through and whatever else. But Connor, Alex, Indiana, ads, appreciate you all coming on.
Yep.
Connor, where can people find you on Twitter, bro?
You can find me at my Twitter. Let me look it up. It's just a normal Twitter page. I'm just a fan, man. I'm not a channel or anything like that. So
you got your own. You got Twitter, haven't you?
I'm just a commentator, man. You guys have got to follow me. Follow Jem. Follow ads. Follow GNA TV. If you're watching right now, like, subscribe, do whatever you can. Follow these guys on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. Get on the train right now. Don't worry about me. Follow these guys, all right?
Connor's here. Don't worry. Connor's not going anywhere. He's always here. He's always about. And hopefully, Connor, we can sit and actually talk about how great we was and Pulisic was as well. That's the
Dude,
hope.
I would love to talk about Hudson-Odoi's hat trick. I would pay for it. I'd drink water.
Alex, where can they find you, bro?
But I've got Twitter. I've got a Twitter account, but I need to kind of make a new one because I've got some like weird ass name on there. But maybe just on Instagram, like Alex_. And then there's Repetto, like 99, like some Italian surname. But yeah, to be honest, I don't really like have any to shout. Just just come up here and just talk about football and Chelsea. And
appreciate that, man. You're becoming more what's the word? Like more common. Like you, especially you, Alex. Connor, I know it's still hard for you because of your timing and stuff where you are and stuff. It'd be nice to see you on more. We don't usually do streams this late, but because the game was on so late in the UK. It probably benefited Connor this time. So
yeah, I'm gonna be on board. Trust me, though.
Yeah, no, honestly, I appreciate it. I'd love to have you on. Indiana, you still there, bro?
Yeah, man.
Indiana, shout out what you've got going on, man, because you've got some new shows, you've got some new stuff. Let everyone know where you are, bro.
We got loads going on. So the first 11, the first XI is a channel which is made up of people who run their own channels. It's a collaboration, really. So Jem's involved. Ads had a show tonight, hosted that, and actually he was incredible tonight, I've got to say. It was a great show, some great debates on there. So we have on a Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we've got the Next Generation, which is under 20s, talking about football from their perspective. On a Wednesday, we've got Grounded Football, which is a serious football conversation. Jem's involved in that one. Friday's Fraud Watch. Jem's also involved in that one, which is a great show. Basically calling fraud in football. It's actually amazing. It's funny, man. We have the best time doing that.
It's my favourite show. I actually not joking when I say this. Is Indiana's Fraud Watch is my favourite. I like the Grounded Football as well. It's good because you can actually have a grounded conversation. But Fraud Watch is just hilarious, man.
We literally, I think we kind of set out to take it more seriously than we should have, because now we just love it. It's just like, we just enjoy it. We got a lady show coming on the Sundays.
Yes, bro. Subscribe,
loads
Alex.
Of stuff going on, man. Go and subscribe. Yeah. And the Twitter's right there. First.
If you look at Alex, Indiana, if you look at Alex, he's showing you. He's subscribed. He's showing
I love this guy. Yeah, come get involved, man, because we get everybody on at the end of the show, Fraud Watch as well. They can come on, give their frauds, get involved in the show. Want to get the people involved. So
definitely.
Come and do that, man. Appreciate it.
Indiana, Appreciate it. Make sure you get following all of his stuff. He's doing so much over there, so much different stuff as well to what's going on as well. Fraud Watch is cool because literally you can put whoever you want in there. It's so fun. Literally, if anyone pisses you off that week, you can just be like, "You're a fraud," and you can go on there and no one judges you. You can just say what you like, and it's so much fun. But guys, we appreciate you all. Thank you for coming on. And we will see you again tomorrow with another show with me, Sophia. I'm sure Ads will be around as well. So, yeah, Connor, Alex, peace. Indiana, as always, thank you. And we'll see you again very, very soon.
Guys. Be safe.
And you, bro. Peace.
It's like it's playtime and it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance.